Hi everyone and welcome. It's great to have you with us today. I'm Natalie Perkins from the marketing team here at Remit One, and I'll be kicking things off. So we're really excited to present how AI is helping money transfer businesses to build customer loyalty, strengthen compliance, and improve efficiency. Before we dive in, I just want to mention we're actually offering a free AI readiness consultation to all attendees today. So this is a practical one-to-one session to help you identify where AI could make the biggest impact in your businesses. So we'll share a booking link at the end of this session and all the details. Okay, so let me just give you a quick overview of what we'll be introduce our team here on the webinar. So I'll start off just by covering some of the key challenges that we see money transfer businesses are facing. And then I'll hand over to Dr. Seneca, Managing Director at Bars and Lines and our AI technology partner. So Seneca will show you how AI is already addressing some of the challenges and walk you through a live demo of our loyalty use case. And then after that, you'll hear from Sefil, our Head of Technical Customer Success here at Remit One. Seth will share how you can take the next steps from running a pilot to getting started with AI. And we'll wrap up with a Q&A at the end. So just as we go along, feel free to leave your questions in the Q&A tab, which I think is at the top of the screen, or in the live chat. We'll be keeping an eye on both, and we'll try and cover as many questions as we can at the end. So yeah, let's get started then. So when we speak to money transfer businesses around, we hear a lot of the same themes. So loyalty is fragile, margins are under pressure, and compliance requirements keep getting heavier and more challenging. So these themes are really shaping the industry, and they're one of the many reasons why businesses are now looking to AI for help. But before we get into the solutions, let's take a closer look at what's driving these pressures. So in cross-border, loyalty has become one of the hardest things to maintain. We're actually seeing that 84% of customers will switch providers for a better rate, a faster transfer, or a smooth, which is just leaving just 16% loyal. So every transfer is a new decision point, and that means that money transfer businesses are working harder than ever to keep every sender. And when you lose a sender, it's not just that payment that disappears. You're actually losing the lifetime value, aren't you? Their repeat transfers, their margin, their advocacy, referrals. And it actually costs 5 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one. So that's why we say to our clients, retention isn't just a marketing goal, it's actually a margin strategy. And then there's the operational side as well. So many teams are still bogged down with very repetitive compliance checks, manual data entry, and time-consuming verification processes. As we all know, this is like the essential work, but it also slows things down and it just makes it harder to focus on customers. To be clear, what we're saying here is this isn't about replacing people or cutting teams. It's actually about, empowering them. So AI can take care of repetitive tasks, so your teams can actually spend time on what really matters, so like solving complex problems, building stronger customer relationships, and just delivering a smoother experience. So that was a quick look at the challenges. Now, to show us how AI is already solving them in practice, I'm delighted to introduce Seneca Fernando. So Seneca and his team have been working very closely with us to integrate advanced AI capabilities into the Remit One platform. And he's going to walk you through how the AI solutions that we've developed together, and we'll give you a live demo of how that works in action. So over to you, Seneca.
Thanks, Natalie. So I'll start off with this slide that AI helps keep customers. So this is about loyalty and retention that we are talking about here. So We are more than happy to actually explain these features in more detail to you, maybe in a follow-up call individually and so and so, because we understand requirements for artificial intelligence changes from organization to organization. These are not generic. And this is simply, an AI agent is like, a hire in your organization, like an employee. So it can work alongside your existing employees to augment them and do things. So we have another use case that I would also like to talk to you about in compliance, for instance, right? So you have your regular compliance team. You might have some business rules, for example, that detects fraud and so on and so forth. Here, our AI agent complements what they do. So essentially, it does the heavy lifting. So the compliance team, can focus on the tasks that actually require, human intelligence, human input, right? Because an AI agent cannot determine every scenario, but there can be 80% of the scenarios which are presenting themselves in a very straightforward way, that we can use the AI agents to validate that, to make like to assist the humans in what they do. So, for example, when it comes to fraud detection, one of the biggest challenges in fraud algorithms is that it will create a lot of false, positive scenarios. In the usual case, the transaction is blocked. The remitter can't remit money. They're waiting. Someone needs to go and manually review the situation and clear the block, right? So you need to get on a call or send email or whatever and wait. With the AI agents that we have, if it is a very straightforward scenario of a false positive, the AI agent can intervene and clear the block. To clear the block, it might require requesting documentation, additional documentation. For example, maybe you are transacting beyond a certain amount, and now you need to prove, give a bank statement, for example, to show the source of funds, right? Or maybe you have been inactive for some time and suddenly trying to perform like a high value remittance transaction, and the fraud engine flagged it. And then you need to provide maybe your passport or something like that to prove your identity. So these kinds of things, you don't really need a human to intervene and validate this document and let you through. The AI agent can respond to an email, request additional information via email, or it can even send an SMS, remind you of something you need to do. So the remitter can perform what they want to do very fast. So it reduces the workload of the compliance team. There is less manual review. The onboarding of the remitter, either be it the initial onboarding or requesting additional documentation and things like that, that becomes faster, and the customer experience improves significantly. So the chance of a remitter going to another platform, another service, being frustrated with the service that you provide reduces significantly with our AI agent. So it's not just one agent, right? As you understand, there are multiple agents that we are talking about here. So one deals with, let's say, loyalty, promotions, and stuff like that. Another deals with compliance, and so on and so forth. And not just that, we got other capability as well. So if you can go to the next slide. Yeah, thank you. So we can also do things like dynamic pricing, like you charge commissions from your customers for moving money from one destination to another destination. So it is possible to evaluate the market conditions, understand the overhead for making a transfer. These are also dynamic if you had multiple options for the same corridor. So instead of having someone manually set the figures, manually set the routing on a daily basis, the AI agent can come and intervene and dynamically change these things. There can be situations where the agent cannot decide what's the best thing to do. Maybe you have set some preferences in terms of your preferred route, and you said only if these conditions meet, change it to another route. Now, agent detects that there is a cost-effective route currently given the market conditions, and it wants to make that change. But your decision might be that the AI agent needs to inform you and get your approval first before it goes and makes a change. So the agent can actually flag this to you via an email or send you an SMS alert, something like that. Someone who is responsible for changing rates and commissions, right? And if you say yes, go ahead or something like that, the agent will go and change it. on the Remit One platform. So it's instantaneous like that. So again, all of this actually contributes to higher customer satisfaction because the customer likes to get the best rates. So if you are able to offer less overhead in terms of the cost, and your commission is optimized accordingly, right? So you're not losing out as well, but your customer is happy because the customer always gets the best rate from you, so not your competitor. And this is that kind of clear advantage you can get from AI. Right. So I hope I gave you a taste of what is possible with our capabilities. I'm looking forward to answer your questions, or I will now pass on to my good friend Saif to talk to you about things that you can do with the Remit One platform through this accelerator.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly finish off really to give you some time to ask questions as well. One of the slide here is to choose the right partner is where impact begins. I think that kind of says a lot here. We as Remit One, we provide a platform that's already there. It's a traditional platform, has all these things, including lots of data that AI can work on and lots of actions it can take basically on the system. So that's interesting. So if you move to the next slide. Thank you. Right, so here we are not just working alone. We including Bars and Lines who have the expertise on the AI side, and we have our platform as well. We have their expertise here, and together, working together, we want to have the best impact that's possible, right? So there's, we have obviously a history with working with banks, fintechs, and so on. As you all know, some of you are from that kind of background. And we have worked with you on many different things to build within our system. This will allow us to take it to the next level, hopefully, and allow us to sort of build something where we make our lives easier, our busy lives easier, because there's a lot of problems. Things like churn that was spoken about in the beginning of this webinar. Churn is a very important thing because obviously it's easy to lose a customer very quickly, and you want to make sure that you don't do that and retain them, because it takes a lot of time and effort to gain a new customer. If you move to the next slide. Right. So how do you get started? This is a question I'm sure a lot of you will be asking us. Right. The first thing to do is really to get in touch with us. And we can work, as Seneca has pointed out, that you may have a business need, which we need to tailor to your needs. Not all things are the same, right? Everybody has a different need, different part of the world, etc. So choose what you want to look at, and then we can work together to run a focused pilot for you, and then we can launch. And hopefully this will improve your business. Next slide. Right, so now we're open up to questions, and there is a QR code there. If you want to go ahead and book a consultation with us.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Seneca and Seth, for that really great run through. Yeah, this is the final portion of the webinar now, where we're going to do today. I've already seen a few of questions be asked in the chat, so let me just navigate to that, and we can pose those to Seneca and to. So we have one question here. It's quite a technical one. I'm not sure we can answer it right now, but will this be available within the web services? Seth and
this
Seneca,
is something that we haven't. Yeah, I mean,
have to come back on that one.
It depends on what you want through the web services, really. So we have to think about the use case there, right? This is going to be working with the system. But of course, if you want to get information or trigger something, then yeah, we can look at how we can do that through the web services as well. But it depends on your use case, right? Not everything will be available through the web services, but it's something that we'll be happy to explore.
Yeah. And I think like just going back to the follow-on conversation. So if anybody wants to scan that QR code now to book their AI readiness consultation, you can do that. It will take you to a Calendly link and you can book straight in. And we can cover any very like specific questions on those one-to-one sessions as well. Another question here we've got, what kind of factors will the AI look at when predicting when customers might leave? So I think
I can
Seneca's
answer that
for you.
question. Yeah. So churn is a very important area. So one of the things is that obviously you will have a list of people who have previously left, and you can look at the transaction patterns of people who have previously been remitters and no longer active. It's difficult to determine whether the person actually has left in this scenario, because remitters might be active and they will be inactive. So what we're actually looking at is what are the factors that will result in someone becoming active versus inactive. So we will be looking at the transaction profile, and we look at things like recency, the frequency, and the the value of the transaction. So we use a algorithm based on RFM. If based on how recent they have been engaged, the frequency of like how frequently they make transactions and so on and so forth, we will be able to determine churn. Now, it's impossible to look at a person who made just one remittance transaction and say whether that person will churn or not, right? So this only applies to frequent remitters, if you see what I mean. But every organization will have some of those loyal customers. This is where loyalty and also churn prediction, all of these things come to play. And we target about how to sort of retain them. But we can also use things like identity resolution and so on and so forth, combined with things like Google Analytics and so on and so forth, to understand other behavior of this individual, especially if you're running a marketing campaign on Facebook or something like that, and you have set up the tracking accordingly. We will be able to tell you that this person is interested. They are not remitting money, so it's no real churn risk, but you probably need to push them a little bit, throw in a few offers like that. So the agents are intelligent enough to use additional data like satellite information, coming from these other platforms, and to have a much more informed decision. So I'm happy to talk to you all more on a like a one-to-one call perhaps later on. But yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I got another really good question here on. Okay, so how will you be able to decide what pricing or rates to offer to customers? Are there any external data sources you will also take into consideration? I think
Yes.
Seneca, this is one for you, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm also seeing some other questions about, regulators, like for example of India has many regulations to transfer money. Will you be able to support that? Definitely, yes. It's not just about regulation for, transferring money and things like that. There is also data residency requirements. So agents will get deployed in the respective cloud environments. Like for example, if you're from Saudi, this will be getting deployed, I think on Alibaba's cloud or Google Cloud, so on and so forth, which are currently available for them. It will not be on Amazon, for instance, right? So we look at all of those aspects. Our agents run on multiple platforms, for example, for these reasons. And also, we do monitoring of real-time FX rates. We consume data that is available, which you tell us to use, right? It's customized to every customer. And that is the beauty of using natural language based queries and the ability to use MCP servers and so on and so forth, which provide rate information, like information from sources like Bloomberg we use. So we can combine all of those intelligence and then do it. But not all are applicable for all regions, not for all corridors. So we have to use that exact subset that is applicable, let's say, from India to Singapore, or let's say from UK to Australia, or US to France, right? We will be looking at these corridors specifically and then deciding on adjustments of rate and things like that based on information.
There is another question that said, how do we use this for monitoring multiple transactions on a daily basis? So, Seneca.
we definitely can monitor transactions on a daily basis. First of all, the code that agents are running are very efficient, and these are generally designed to run on transactions or deltas of transactions. Like we can give date ranges, we can look at certain windows. So these are optimized to run within minutes rather than hours or days, right? But of course, there is some overhead, there is some cost. So we can definitely keep running all of these transactions, scan the entire database over and over, but that is going to cost you. So we will determine how frequently we need to run these agents. Depends on the scenario as well. So in one case, we have an agent processing documents and sending out emails. So the logic for detecting whether it needs to send out an email happens infrequently, maybe 4 times a day. But it is reactive whenever someone responds to that email. This is implemented using Amazon once again. So there's an S3 bucket where the email attachment will arrive, and there is a Amazon queue notification that is being sent via SNS. And we react to that immediately, because when the customer is active, you want to respond to that customer immediately and take that conversation forward. But if we are trying to reach out to a customer ourselves without them being active, right, we will do it at some scheduled interval. So we have optimized the operation of these agents to be very cost effective and productive.
Okay, I think we're at time there. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Seneca and Seth for this great run through. And yeah, thank you to everybody for joining and for your questions. If we haven't managed to answer your questions, we will follow up with you, probably most likely over email. But do feel free to get that meeting booked in with us, and we can talk, more one-to-one about your particular use cases. So yeah, thank you everybody, and thank you Seneca and Seth, and we'll catch up with you next time.
Thanks, Natalie. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.